Hello, I am Christy Muro, and in this video I'm going to show you how the keys option works for the user-defined fields in SAP Business One. The keys option acts like a unique index in SQL. You will see how it prevents duplicate values, when to use it, and a quick example. We will create a table called certification to track vendor certification like safety, insurance. So let's get started. So first, let's start by creating the user-defined table. So we're going to go to Tools, Customization Tools, User-Defined Tables. And we're going to call the table Certification. And I'm going to click on Update. Okay, now the next thing that we're going to do is to create the user-defined fields for that table. So I'm going to go to Tools, Customization Tools, User-Defined Fields. I'm going to scroll down to find out user tables, and here I'm going to find my table. So here we have the table. I'm going to click on Add to create the first field. So the first field will be the vendor, and I'm going to make it mandatory. The second field will be the certification type. And I'm going to make it mandatory as well. Now we're going to add the issue date. So this one, the type, I'm going to change it to date time. I'm going to create a new one, expiry date. Same, I'm going to create it as date time. And we're going to create the certification ID. Okay, now we have our table with the fields. I'm not going to create the index yet, so I'm going to open the table. So I'm going to go to Tools. I'm going to go to Tools, User-Defined Windows, and Certification. The code and name are just the fields that SAP created for the table. So right now I'm just going to have some values here, and I'm going to fill out the table here. For example, I'm going to add a second value for the same vendor. Now, here is the important part. In many businesses, a vendor should not have the same certification more than once. For example, the vendor V1000 should only have one safety certification record. So for example, here, what if the user tries to enter a new record here for the same type of certification? And even if they type a different number here, SAP allow me to have the same certification type for the same vendor, and we don't want that. So that's why we need to create an index. So right now I'm going to remove this value. And now I'm going to create the indexes. So what do I need to do to create the indexes? In the user-defined fields, I need to click on keys, and I'm going to click on new. Here I can just type a key name, for example, vendor certification. And here I need to select what are the fields that I want to have as unique values in the table. So here we're going to have vendor and certification type. And I'm going to set it as unique. So I'm going to click on update. Okay. Now I'm going to go to the table. I'm going to go to Tools, User-Defined Windows, Certification. And here I'm going to try to do the same thing that I did previously. I'm going to select same vendor, same certification type, different date. in different number. Now do you see here, the system is telling me this entry already exists in the following tables. And this is because I have identified the vendor and the certification type as unique values. And here I am duplicating the same vendor with the certification type safety twice, line number 1 and line number 3. And that's why SAP is not going to allow me to update it because of the settings that I put it as Unix. So in order for me to save it, I need to change this to another type. For example, if I put another value here, now SAP will allow me to do so. So in this case, vendor A should only have one certification record for each certification type.